Hello friends and welcome to DigiiMento. So today we will be taking up this chapter, Natural Hazards and Disasters, Mitigation Strategies. So we were already dealing with this chapter and till yesterday we have completed the Natural Hazards and Disasters, and today we will be discussing about the National Disaster Management Act. Okay. So I hope you have joined the lectures with me now. If you have not yet come, please do come fast, and those who are already watching, please do send me a hi, hello, so that we will just start with. So if you are watching this lecture, please do send me a hi so that we will be able to start now. Start immediately. Hi Rani, hi Senthil. Only two. So where are the others? So we will just immediately start as soon as like 4 or 5 people join the class. Hi Lipika. Anybody else who have joined, please do let me know so that we will immediately start the class. And today we will take a little longer. Not today actually, from today onwards we will go a little longer because the exam dates are announced. You might be aware of that. So exam dates are already announced. It will start from 16th of September. So it's hardly one more month to go, not even a month to go. So we have a lot to cover in that small period of time, and you also have to revise and study and all that. So we will extend the sessions a little more. Maybe otherwise we were taking like 35 to 40 minutes. So now I'll try to take at least 50 to 55 minutes lectures. Maybe it will go up to 1 hour also. Hi Sumati, good evening. So yeah, I think we will just start with, let the others come and join in between. So we will just start with, okay, without wasting much time, we will start. And this is our channel, and if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. And also if you are preparing for GATE, NTA, UGC NET or PGT Computer Science, you can avail our online courses. You can visit our website www.digimento.com, or you can call to this number to get more details about the courses that we provide. So we were dealing with natural hazards and disasters. You can quickly go through, just take 1 minute or 2 minutes maximum to simply go through whatever we have learned till yesterday. By that time others will also join, and after others join we will start with the new topic that we will start today. So you can just go through. Okay, I'll change the slide so that you can just revise and go. Don't take more than 2 minutes. I'll not even take more than 2 minutes for this recap. Cyclone, cyclonic storms, different types of cyclones that hit the Indian coast recently, mitigation strategies, drought, meteorological drought, hydrological, agricultural, ecological. Then the mitigation strategies of drought, then earthquake waves, body waves, surface waves, P waves and S waves, measurement, zones, the mitigation strategies. You can use it for revision, okay? You can just glance through. So exam is nearby, you can use it for revision. Even if you don't get time at your home, you can use this time for revision. Floods, India's flood prone areas, mitigation strategies, landslide, mitigation strategy, tsunamis also we discussed yesterday, mitigation strategies, volcanic eruption. Now we will come to Disaster Management Act of 2005. So I want to know, whoever is watching my video now, send me a hi, hello. Okay. Anyway, we will start now. We don't have much time left. Already the exam dates are announced. So I think we will go a little faster now. Most of you were expecting the exams to be held in November or December, but it will be held in September. So we will just we will finish our part. Okay. Hi Pavitra. So we will just start with today's portion. So today we will be discussing about the Disaster Management Act of 2005. So Disaster Management Act, this is a statutory act, which means it is passed by the parliament. So it is a statute, or it is statutory in nature. So statutory in nature, and it came into force in the month of January 2016. So after 1 year of its passing, it was implemented in 2006. Now the objective of the act is to manage the disasters, including the preparation of mitigation strategies and capacity building. So the objective of this act is to manage the disasters, including the preparation of mitigation strategies and the capacity building. Okay, and it provides establishment of National Disaster Management Authority, that is the NDMA. It provides for the establishment of NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, with the Prime Minister of India as the chairperson. This is important. Questions may be asked, who is the chairperson of the Disaster Management Authority? So NDMA. Now the National Disaster Management Authority, it has been established under the Disaster Management Act of 2005. So Disaster Management Act of 2005, it's a statutory act, or it's a legislation passed by the parliament to manage the disasters, and inside that it includes the preparation of mitigation strategies and capacity building to manage the disasters. And the Disaster Management Act of 2005, it provides for the establishment of National Disaster Management Authority at the national level. So this will be the apex authority to take care and to manage the disasters. The chairperson of the National Disaster Management Authority will be the Prime Minister. Okay. And the act enjoins the central government to constitute a National Executive Committee. Apart from the National Disaster Management Authority, the act also empowers the central government in order to constitute a National Executive Committee, NEC, to assist the national authority. National authority is the National Disaster Management Authority. So in order to help the NDMA, the central government can also establish a National Executive Committee. So National Executive Committee will be responsible for assisting the National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA. Now coming to the state level, all the state governments are mandated to establish a State Disaster Management Authority. So the state governments should be establishing a State Disaster Management Authority, or an SDMA. At the national level, we have the NDMA. At the state level, there should be a SDMA, or the State Disaster Management Authority. Now, Section 25 of the DM Act. Section 25 of the Disaster Management Act provides for constitution of DDMA, Constitution of Disaster, District Disaster Management Authority, for every district of a state. So again, now we will see at the apex level we have the NDMA, which is at the national level. Now SDMA is mandatory. State Disaster Management Authority has to be established by the state government, and it is mandatory under the act. Then also we have the Section 25. So Section 25 of the Disaster Management Act provides for the constitution of DDMA, or the District Disaster Management Authority. So DDMA, District Disaster Management Authority. District Disaster Management Authority has to be constituted at the district level. Okay. Now let's come to the National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA. Let's see the details. It is the apex statutory body. Now, what is meant by a statutory body? A statutory body means a body which is established according to a statute. Now, what is a statute? Statute means it is a legislation passed by the parliament. So, statutory body means a body which attains its power, or which gains its power from the statute or a legislation passed by the parliament. This is called a statutory body. So NDMA, or the National Disaster Management Authority, is the statutory, apex statutory body for disaster management in India. It was constituted on 27th of September 2006. So we saw that the National Disaster Management Act was passed in 2005 and it was implemented in 2006. So the National Disaster Management Authority was constituted for the first time in September 2006, and Prime Minister is the chairman. This is very important. So Prime Minister is the chairman of the Disaster Management Authority, National Disaster Management Authority, and there are 9 other members and one such member to be designated as the vice chairperson. So there are 9 other members. That means Prime Minister acting as the chairperson plus 9 members. That is total of 10 members. So out of this 9 other members, one person shall be designated as the vice president of this authority. Okay. Next, apex. It is the apex body to lay down the policies, plans and guidelines for the disaster management to ensure timely and effective response to the disasters. So NDMA, the National Disaster Management Authority, will act as the apex body, that is the ultimate body or the highest body to lay down policies, plans and the guidelines. So it lays down the policies regarding disaster management, the plans for disaster management and the guidelines for the disaster management to ensure timely and effective response to disasters. And it is also responsible to build a safer and disaster resilient India by holistic, proactive, technology driven and sustainable development strategy. So these are the things to be kept in mind while designating or while framing the policies. So a safer and disaster resilient India should be built. Now this should be based on the policies for building a disaster resilient India or a safer country should be based on the policies of holistic. Holistic means overall approach, proactive, technology driven and sustainable development. So we have already discussed about sustainable development. So these are the various things which has to be kept in mind by the authority while making the decisions. Now coming to the functions and responsibilities of NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, to approve the National Disaster Plan. So first one, it approves the National Disaster Plan. So a plan made at the national level has to be finally approved by the NDMA. To lay down the policies on disaster management, to approve plans prepared by the central government. Plans prepared by the central government, which means the plans regarding disaster management. So those plans relating to disaster management prepared by the central government, to lay down the guidelines to be followed by the state authorities in drawing up a state plan. So to lay down the guidelines which has to be followed by the state authorities in drawing up a state plan. We have discussed about the State Disaster Management Authority. So when the State Disaster Management Authority makes plans with regard to disaster management, the guidelines for that should be given by the National Disaster Management Authority. It also lays down the guidelines to be followed by the central government for the purposes of integrating the measures for disaster prevention or mitigation of its effect in their development plans and projects. Next is to coordinate enforcement and implementation of disaster management policy and plan. That is coordinating enforcement and implementation of disaster management policy and plan. Next is to recommend the provision of funds for the purpose of mitigation. So how much funds has to be allocated for the purpose of mitigation? It is recommended by the Disaster Management Authority, National Disaster Management Authority. Now here very important is that Prime Minister is the chairman. Therefore definitely it is an executive decision. So Prime Minister being a member of the Council of Ministers, or not just member, head of the Council of Ministers, definitely this is an executive decision. To provide such support to other countries which are affected by major disasters as determined by the central government. To provide support to other countries which are affected by major disasters. So we have seen different examples in the current affairs in the newspapers recently. Also like for example, if there is any disaster in our neighboring countries, especially smaller countries, India will send its army, navy, military forces again medical supplies etc. are given by India. So this is because it is the commitment of our country to take care of our neighbors, and we also have adopted the policy of neighborhood first. So the Prime Minister has announced that our foreign relations policy will stand at this principle of neighborhood first policy. So also this NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, will provide such support which are needed by the other countries as decided by the central government. Next is to take such other measures for the prevention of disasters. That is to take measures with regard to prevention of disasters or mitigation or preparedness and capacity building for dealing with threatening disaster situation or disaster as it may consider necessary. So prevention and preparedness, and also capacity building to deal with threatening disaster situation. To lay down broader policies and guidelines for the functioning of National Institute of Disaster Management. So how the National Institute of Disaster Management, how it has to function, it is also decided by the National Disaster Management Authority. So this is all about this chapter. We have finished it, but we are not stopping it here today. We will take up the next chapter because we don't have much time. The exam is scheduled on 16th, from 16th onwards, so we do not have much time. So we will be taking up the next chapter also now. Okay, so hi Neetu and hi Puviri. So I think this much is clear for you. If you have any doubts from this chapter, you can put it now. I'll just wait for 1 minute, and we will just start with the next chapter, that is the chapter 6. Okay. If you have any doubts, put it now. We will discuss that and then we will move to the next chapter. We do not have much time, and I'm planning that from the next week onwards, maximum by Tuesday or Wednesday, we will start with the previous year questions. So we have to finish before that. Pooja is asking me Hindi mein bhi baat diya karo. Okay, I'm not very comfortable, but still I'll try. Okay. So yeah, we don't have much time, so please ask me your doubts, and then if it's clear for you, then mention that also, so that we will move ahead. Okay, so it's clear. So next chapter is chapter 6. The 6th one. So we have just 6th and 7th, then we will finish this unit. Okay, the 6th chapter is natural and energy resources. So here we will be specifically discussing about solar energy, wind energy, soil, then hydro, geothermal, biomass, nuclear energy, and the forest. So yeah. So we will just start with India's renewable energy target. So we have set up a renewable energy target of 175 gigawatts. So this is the Prime Minister's target. So this is the target set by Prime Minister, that by the year 2022 we will be achieving a 175 gigawatts of renewable energy. If you can recollect, we have already discussed about the difference between renewable energy and non-renewable energy. So renewable energy is the energy that we can renew or replenish. So the energy sources which can be renewed or replenished over a period of time. So they are called the renewable energy. So by 2022 we have the target of 175 gigawatts of renewable energy. So out of this, again, the split is like this: 5 gigawatt will be from small hydro projects, that means smaller projects like small dams and all. Then 10 gigawatt will be from biomass, 40 gigawatt from rooftop solar, 60 gigawatt from solar photovoltaic, and then 60 gigawatt from wind. So here we will see that out of 175 gigawatts, 100 gigawatts will be from solar energy. So solar energy is the main source of renewable energy that we are looking upon, or that we are depending upon. Now let's continue. So we will just start with solar energy because we have understood the relevance and the importance of solar energy to achieve this target of 175 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2022. So there are two ways by which we can produce electricity from the sunlight. Solar energy is basically the sunlight, okay? So there are basically two ways through which we can produce the electricity from sunlight. First one is photovoltaic electricity. So this is the first one. Second one is solar thermal energy. So these are the two ways by which we can produce electricity from the sunlight. So photovoltaic electricity, it uses the photovoltaic cells that absorb the direct sunlight to generate electricity. So in the first category, which is the photovoltaic electricity, the cells, have you heard about solar cells? This is what is called the photovoltaic cells. There was an issue that we were importing the solar cells from China. So using the photovoltaic cells that absorb the direct sunlight. So this solar cells will absorb the sunlight directly and then generate electricity. Then we also have solar thermal energy, which uses solar collector that has a mirrored surface which reflects the sunlight into a receiver that helps heat up a liquid, and this heated up liquid is used to make steam that will produce electricity. So this is an indirect method. The first one is a direct method. By using photovoltaic cells, directly the sunlight can be converted into electricity. The second method is solar thermal energy, solar thermal electricity, where it uses a solar collector. So solar collector which has a mirrored surface. So a mirrored surface solar collector which reflects the sunlight into a receiver, and this receiver heats up a liquid, and this heated liquid is used to make steam, and from there it produces electricity. Okay, this is the second method. Now we will come to the National Solar Mission. So it was earlier named as Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission. So National Solar Mission, it has a target of 20,000 megawatts of grid connected solar power by 2022. So National Solar Mission has set up a target of 20,000 megawatts of grid connected solar power by 2022. And it was revised in June 2015 to 100 gigawatts by 2022. Now again we have this overall renewable energy 175 gigawatts, and we have discussed about the split. So when we discussed about the split, we discussed that out of this 175, 100 gigawatts will be contributed by solar energy. Okay, so this is the National Solar Mission. By 2022 we have to achieve 100 gigawatts. All these facts are very important for your examination. They can ask you, so what is the target? 100 gigawatts. So we have the target of achieving 100 gigawatts of solar energy by the year 2022. The 100 gigawatt solar power capacity, this has been divided into two. So we have already discussed the split in the beginning. 100 gigawatt, it's split into two, divided into two. First one is rooftop solar electricity generation, and target is 40 gigawatts. Next is large and medium scale grid connected solar projects, and the target is 60 gigawatts. Okay, so this is the target. Now very important is International Solar Alliance, because in your syllabus this has been explicitly mentioned about International Solar Alliance, and you can expect questions from that. So ISA, or the International Solar Alliance, this is a initiative which is proposed by India and France at the UN Climate Change Conference in Paris. So India proposed it. India along with France proposed this International Solar Alliance. So we can say that India is a founding member of this alliance, and it was launched in 2015 November 30th. Now what is ISA, or what is International Solar Alliance? So International Solar Alliance of the it is an alliance of the countries lying in between two tropics, that is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So I will just show you 1 second. I'll just remove. Okay, and I show you. Okay, because I'm writing with the mouse, it's not very clear. Suppose this is the earth, and here the borders are a little flattened. That is why we call it as geoid. The shape of the earth is geoid. Now equator divides the earth into two equal halves. So equator lies at 0 degree. Okay, then we have this Tropic of Cancer. Okay, equator divides the earth into two equal halves. One is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. India lies in the northern hemisphere. Okay, now again on the northern hemisphere we have the Tropic of Cancer. So this is the Tropic of Cancer. So this lies at 23 degree. Then here we have the, on southern hemisphere we have Tropic of Capricorn, again at 23 degree. Then again we have the Arctic Circle, and here we have the Antarctic Circle. So both Arctic Circle is in the northern hemisphere, and here we have the Antarctic Circle. So both of them lies at 66 degrees. So this is how it is. Now we know that equator. So those countries which are near to the equator, they receive more of the sunlight. So equator. Now this is the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So those countries which lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, so these countries are called the solar rich countries. Why? Because they are close to the equator and they receive maximum sunlight or solar energy. So they receive the maximum sunlight. Therefore these countries are called solar rich countries or sunlight rich countries. So this ISA, International Solar Alliance, this is an alliance of the countries which lies between the two tropics, that is the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, Tropic of Capricorn is in the southern hemisphere and Tropic of Cancer is in the northern hemisphere. Okay, now where is the position of India? Now if we have to see the position of India, okay, so Tropic of Cancer. So Tropic of Cancer passes through almost middle of the country. So half of the country lies, or more than half of the country lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the equator. Okay, so Tropic of Cancer divides our country into almost two halves, not halves actually, passes through the middle, we can say. So therefore India is also a solar rich country. So India and France has initiated the International Solar Alliance, and India is also a founding member of the International Solar Alliance. Okay, I hope this much is clear for you. Now what are the main aims or the objectives of International Solar Alliance? So International Solar Alliance has this important objectives. One is reducing the financial risk across a larger global market. So why financial risk? Because the renewable energy resources like the solar energy, it can be renewed and it comes at low cost at the long run. Second one, ensuring cooperation on technology. So those countries which are the members of the ISA, International Solar Alliance, so these countries can ensure the cooperation on technology, and better technology can be leveraged in order to make use of the solar energy. Next is access, energy access, increasing the energy access. Then next one is the building of capacity. So these are the main aims of International Solar Alliance. So this is about the International Solar Alliance. If you have any doubts, then I will clarify. So please put your doubts in the comment section. Okay, repeat the aims of ISA. First one is to reduce the financial risk. Why financial risk? Because for example, if India alone, so if India alone is trying to leverage the solar power, then what will happen? India has to develop the technology by itself, then India has to bear all the expenses by itself. Now it's an alliance, International Solar Alliance. There are many countries who are the members, so they will share the cost among themselves, and therefore the cost of leveraging the solar energy will come down. Second one related to this is that since solar energy is a renewable energy, once the technology development has been made, then after that the cost will be very less. So financial risk is very less. Second one is to build capacity. So capacity building with regard to solar energy leverage. So solar energy leverage, the capacity building is the second aim. Third one is ensuring the cooperation on technology. Like as I said, because of the alliance of different countries, especially if there are many countries which has technological advantages, so the technological know-how, etc. So this cooperation will help in ensuring that there is a sharing of the technology. Next is increasing the energy access. So access to energy will improve or increase. So these are the aims. If it's clear, please tell me, Neetu. Any other doubts, you can ask me. Okay. So I think we will continue. Next is a wind energy. I know I'm going a bit faster because your exam dates are announced and we have hardly 1 month to go. So I have to finish the entire syllabus and previous year questions as well. So that is why I'm going a little faster. So, okay, it's clear. Now, wind energy, it is a kinetic energy which is associated with the movement of atmospheric air. So, wind is the movement of atmospheric air, and the kinetic energy which is associated with the movement of atmospheric air is called the wind energy. Now, wind turbines. So, wind turbines transform the energy into in the wind into the mechanical power, further converting the mechanical power into electric power to generate the electricity. So basically the wind turbines, the turbines transform the energy in the wind. So when there is a movement of air, definitely it carries some energy. So this energy is converted into mechanical power by the wind turbines. So this energy is converted into mechanical power, and then further it is converted into electric power. So electric power in order to generate the electricity. So this is how the wind energy is generated. Now let's discuss about the wind farms. So wind farm is a group of wind turbines. Maybe you have seen wind turbines or wind farms. So wind farms, it is a group of wind turbines in the same location used for the production of electricity. So most of you must have seen wind farms, at least in the movies or in the TV or in the internet, on YouTube or anything. So wind farm means it's a group of wind turbines which are located in the same location for the production of electricity. And we have onshore wind farms. So onshore wind farms, they operate on land where the wind tends to be the strongest. So onshore wind farm means those wind farms which operate on the land, and it is where the wind are the strongest. And the turbines on an onshore wind farm are less expensive and easier to set up. So it's less expensive and easier to set up, and they maintain and operate than offshore turbines. So offshore turbines are little difficult to maintain and operate. So these are the advantages of onshore wind farms. Maybe you will get questions to compare the onshore and the offshore wind farms. So onshore means they operate on land, and here the wind is the strongest, it is less expensive, and also maintenance and operation is easier here onshore. Next we have the offshore wind farm. Here the construction of wind farms in large bodies of water. So here the wind farms are constructed on large water bodies for generating the electricity. The offshore wind farms are more expensive than the onshore wind farms of the same nominal power. So it's more expensive. And here the wind energy target, we have discussed that by 2022 the government has a target of 175 generating 175 gigawatts of renewable energy, and out of this 100 gigawatts has to be generated from solar resource. And the wind energy targets, sorry, this is not 2022, this is 2030, I think. Okay, so 60 gigawatts by 2022, and by 2030 it is 200 gigawatt. So this is the wind energy target. Sorry, this is a mistake, it's 2030. Okay. Now we will discuss about the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy. So National Offshore Wind Energy Policy of 2015. So offshore is on the water bodies. Okay, onshore is on land and offshore is on the water bodies. So Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is the nodal agency for the implementation of National Offshore Wind Energy Policy of 2015, and it paves the way for offshore wind energy development, including setting up of offshore wind power projects and research and developmental activities. So the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy of 2015, it aims to create or develop setting up of offshore wind power projects. So offshore wind power projects and research and developmental activities. So next is hydropower. I think we will discuss hydropower also, then we will wind up. Okay. It's very simple, it's very easy. That's why I'm moving a little faster. So hydropower, this power is captured when the water flows downward from a higher level to a lower level, which is then used to turn the turbine. So in case of dams is a very good example of hydropower. So what happens? The water flows downward from a higher level to a lower level. So like this, from higher level to a lower level, then this power or this energy is used to turn the turbine, thereby converting the kinetic energy of water into mechanical energy to drive the generator. And this is the cheapest and the cleanest source of energy, and that is why we have maximum hydropower projects. So cheapest and the cleanest source of energy. So hydropower, it's the cheapest and the cleanest source of energy. Neetu is asking my by 2030 wind energy target 200 gigawatts. So this is about the hydropower. Hydropower is generated when water flows downward from a higher level to a lower level, and this is used to turn the turbine, converting the kinetic energy into the mechanical energy. Okay. Then small hydropower. So hydropower project which has an installed capacity of less than 25 megawatt. This is called a small hydropower. Small hydropower means small hydropower projects which has an installed capacity of less than 25 megawatts. And in most cases, run-off river projects are an example of small hydropower. And India and China are the major players of small hydropower sector. So India and China, they are the major players of the small hydropower sector, and they hold the highest number of installed projects. So they have the highest number of installed projects. Next we have the ocean thermal energy. So do you want me to continue, or do you want to wind up now? So yes, I'll give you all the PPTs. What I told sir is that because there are so many channels, I am getting confused. So I told sir that I will send them and they will upload it on all the channels. Okay. So do you want me to continue? Take up one or two more? Okay, continue. Okay. So next we have the ocean thermal energy. Now, how is ocean thermal energy generated? This is generated because of the temperature differences. The temperature differences between surface of the ocean and the depths of the ocean. So, on the surface and depth, in the depth of the ocean, the temperature is different. And this temperature differences is used to produce the ocean thermal energy. So, the depth of about 1000 meters, that is 1 kilometers. this temperature difference is used to operate a heat engine which produces the electric power. Now, can you tell me on the surface or deep ocean, where will be the temperature high? Lipika has commented that I'm looking good in specs. Thank you, Lipika. I had specs already, but I was not using, and now I have frequent headaches because I'm not using it, and I'm always exposed to this laptop and devices. So I started getting headache again. So I started using again. Thank you, Lipika. So where the temperature will be high, depth or surface? Pooja has commented depth. Okay, let's wait for some other answers also. Surface, Neetu, Ashwati also surface. Okay, can you tell me the reason also? Pooja, don't worry, you made a very good attempt, but the answer is otherwise. Surface. It's surface. Why? Because in the surface of the ocean, what happens? The direct rays of the sunlight is received. So it is on the surface of the ocean that the direct sun rays are received. So surface is warm, whereas the depths of the ocean, it's very cold. Okay, so it is the surface of the ocean where the temperatures are high. So this is about the pressure increases, temperature decreases. Yes, correct. Yes, that is also there, but direct sun rays are received on the surface. Next, we will also discuss about wave energy, then we will wind up. Okay, wave energy. The wave energy, it results from the interaction of wind with the surface of the sea. So this is wave energy. So as a result of wind, that is the movement of air. So wind is the movement of air, the interaction of wind with the surface of the sea, and represent a transfer of energy from wind to the sea. So wave energy represents a transfer of energy from wind to the sea. The movement of air, it carries some energy and this is transferred to the sea. Another fact regarding this is that the first wave energy project with a capacity of 150 megawatts was first set up at Vizhinjam, which is near Trivandrum. Okay, this is in the district of Trivandrum in Kerala. So this was the first wave energy project which was set up in India and has a capacity of 150 megawatts. So this is a fact relating to it. So with this, we will wind up today's session. And if you have any doubts, please do ask me. I'll wait for some minutes, and if not, we will continue tomorrow. We will try to cover this chapter tomorrow itself. We will try to cover maximum tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So maximum in 2 classes. Maximum tomorrow itself we will try to cover this module, this chapter. Okay. So I'll try to finish it off as early as possible. I think today is Friday. So Saturday and Sunday we will finish this chapter for sure. Monday and Tuesday may be the last chapter, and then we will go to the previous year question papers. Okay, unit 10 also we will simultaneously take up. So I hope it's clear for you. If it's clear also, let me know. And if you have liked the video, please share this video with your friends and like the video, and also tell your friends to subscribe to our channel. So I hope it's clear. So let me know if it's clear for you. If you have any doubts, let me know. Okay. So share this video with your friends. It will be helpful for them. We have hardly 1 month to go for your exam. So you have to prepare more thoroughly and rigorously. So make your own timetable. Maybe you can set daily targets, weekly targets, and the entire 1 month target and all. So do your preparations very well. Okay, Lipika has asked me about the tropical part of ISA, International Solar Alliance. I'll just explain it again once more for you. PDF we will definitely provide. So yeah, I'll just explain the tropical part. Okay. So we have the Earth. So the Earth is in a geoid shape, which means the borders are flattened. So this borders of the Earth, they are flattened. So the Earth is divided into 2 by the equator. So equator passes through the center or the middle of the Earth, which is at 0 degree. So here I'll write this side 0 degree equator. Okay, then again we have okay, so don't see the line and all, just understand that at 23 degree we have the Tropic of Cancer on the northern hemisphere, and we have the southern hemisphere where at 23 degree we have the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, so this area between the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere is referred as the tropical area. So this the countries which fall either partly, India partly falls within this, because we said half of India is within this out and half is outside. North India is outside this. So countries which fall either partly or fully into this tropical region, they are a part of the International Solar Alliance. Okay, why? Because these countries between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, they receive the maximum sunlight. That is the reason. Okay, so I hope this is clear now. Okay, everyone has commented. Pranav, Neetu, Ashwati, everyone has commented that it's clear. And Pooja, I'll definitely provide the PPT. Sumati, definitely I'll provide you the PPTs. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we will wind up the session today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Hello friends, and welcome to DigiiMento. So yesterday we started with this chapter, natural and energy resources, the solar, wind, soil, hydro, geothermal, biomass, nuclear and forest. So today we will be continuing with this chapter. We will try to finish this chapter today, and maximum by tomorrow we will try to cover it. Okay, so let's begin the lecture. But if you are watching the lecture, please do send me a hi, hello here. Okay. So we will start once at least 4 or 5 people have joined the class. So if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, and also press the bell icon for receiving the notifications. And if you are preparing for GATE, NTA, UGC NET or PGT Computer Science, then you can avail our online courses, and the details are available at www.DigiiMento.com, or you can call to this number. Okay, so we will start. If you have joined the classes, please do send me a hi. So I think we will start now. Let others join. Okay. So I think we will start because we also have problems with time. So hi Atira. So I think we will start now and let others join. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about India's renewable energy target to be completed by 2022. So we discussed about the solar energy, National Solar Mission, International Solar Alliance, the aims of International Solar Alliance, wind energy, wind farm, offshore wind farm or onshore wind farm. Then we discussed about the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy of 2015. Then we discussed about the hydropower. Hi Neetu. So yeah. Small hydropower, ocean thermal energy, wave energy, and did we discuss about tidal energy? I think we stopped at wave energy, no? Yeah, so we will begin today with tidal energy. So till wave energy we have discussed yesterday. So today we will start with tidal energy. Okay. Now tidal energy, it's the energy which is extracted from the tides by creating a reservoir or a basin behind a barrage and then passing the tidal waters through turbines in the barrage to generate the electricity. So here also the tide waters are passed through the turbines. So this is how the tidal energy is extracted. So energy is extracted from the tides by creating a basin or a reservoir behind a barrage. Then what happens? The tidal waters are passed through the turbines. In case of dams or small hydro projects also, we have discussed that the water is passed from heights to the lower areas. So similarly here the tidal waters are passed through the turbines in the barrage, and this flow of the tidal waters, it generates some energy which is used to generate electricity. So this is about the tidal energy. Next we will see biomass. Now renewable energy resource derived from carbonaceous waste of various human and natural activities is called biomass. Now renewable energy, which means that biomass is a renewable form of energy. So it is renewable, which means it can be renewed or replenished very easily. So renewable energy resource which is derived from carbonaceous waste. What is meant by carbonaceous waste? It means those waste which contains carbon. So carbon waste which contains carbon. So carbonaceous waste of various human and natural activities. So the renewable energy which is derived from the waste which contains the carbon, this is called biomass. So biomass, it basically refers to energy sources from carbon waste. So carbon waste. Now what are the sources of biomass? First one is byproducts from the timber industry, agricultural crops, grassy and woody plants, residues from agriculture or forestry, oil-rich algae, organic component of municipal and industrial waste. So these are some of the natural and human waste in which carbon is there, or there is a high quantity of carbon. So from this waste, from this byproducts, energy is derived in the form of biomass. So this is called biomass energy. So here maybe you will get a question. You may get some options and you have to choose the right ones, which can be the sources of biomass energy. So it is basically those human or we can say waste generated by human activities or natural activities in which carbon waste is a, or carbonaceous waste is a byproduct. Okay. So sources are byproducts from timber industry, agricultural crops, grassy and woody plants, residues from agriculture or forestry, oil-rich algae, organic component of municipal and industrial waste. So these are some of the sources. Biomass releases carbon dioxide that is largely balanced by the carbon dioxide captured in its own growth. So what does it mean? It means that the biomass releases carbon dioxide that is largely balanced by the carbon dioxide captured in its own growth. So this means that if we are able what we discussed, the waste generated as a result of human activities or as a result of natural activities, those waste which contains the carbon compounds, this waste is used in order to produce the biomass or the energy in the form of biomass. Now the biomass, it releases carbon dioxide and it balances. Otherwise, this waste which contains high quantities of carbon, this can add to the pollution. Now, here what happens, this waste is being used in the production of biomass energy. So here there is a balance. So this carbonaceous waste, it is used in the production of biomass and therefore it creates a balance. Hence, the biomass does not add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So, this is what. Otherwise, this waste, if they are not treated properly, then what will happen? The waste in itself creates pollutants, especially carbon dioxide, because it contains high quantity of carbon. So, if this is developed into biomass or energy, then the carbon dioxide is balanced and that it does not add carbon dioxide or the CO2 into the atmosphere. What is the problem? CO2 is a greenhouse gas. So it is a greenhouse gas. Now greenhouse gases are very important in order to maintain the warmth of the earth surface. So it maintains the temperature. But if the greenhouse gases are high or the addition of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere is high, then this will lead to global warming because the temperature will increase. It will lead to global warming. Okay. So, when the carbonaceous waste generated as a result of human activities or natural activity, when it is converted into biomass, this is being balanced and no carbon dioxide is added to the atmosphere. This is, biomass does not add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Why? Because it absorbs the same amount of carbon in growing as it releases when consumed as a fuel. Okay. Hi Rani, hi Sumati, hi Yakub. So if you have missed the earlier portions after this live session, you can just watch the beginning. We did not discuss much. We were just discussing about the tidal energy and the biomass. Now coming to biogas energy. Now biogas is a term which is very much familiar for all of us. So biogas, it refers to a mixture of gases produced by anaerobic decomposition of organic matter like the agricultural waste, municipal waste, plant residue, the food waste, etc. So many of you must also be having a biogas plant in your home. Biogas plant or biogas, how it releases the energy? It decomposes the organic matter. And what is this organic matter? This is the waste, agricultural waste, municipal waste, plant residues, food waste, or even the gobar or what we call as a cow dung can be used. So all these are put into the biogas plant, and there an anaerobic decomposition process will happen. So it decomposes the organic matter to produce the biogas energy. Biogas consists of methane, carbon dioxide, along with small amount of hydrogen sulfide and some moisture. So methane, carbon dioxide, etc. are some of the major components of biogas. Now, we have to discuss about the advantages and the disadvantages of biogas. So, we will see what are the advantages and disadvantages. First, we will see what are the advantages. It is non-polluting, which means the gases, the biogas, whatever gases are emitted, it is non-polluting. It reduces landfills. Why it reduces landfills? Because in the generation of biogas as an energy resource, what is being used? Waste is being used. It can be plant residues, agricultural waste, municipal waste, or food waste, etc. So if you have this biogas plants in your home, then less waste will be generated, because all the waste that can be decomposed into organic matter, it can be used in the biogas plant. So this will reduce the landfill. Landfill means the place where the waste is being accumulated. Then the technology is very cheap. So it does not need high cost or very advanced technology for the installment of biogas plants, and it generates employment, and it is also a renewable source of energy. So these are all the advantages of biogas. Now the disadvantages are that it's not efficient enough on a large scale. So on a large scale it is not efficient enough, and there are certain impurities, and it is unstable and sometimes hazardous also. Unstable because if there is no availability of waste for some time, then we cannot depend on it completely. And hazardous because if it's not properly used, there can be chances of hazards. Okay. Now coming to geothermal energy. Geothermal energy means harnessing of the vast reservoir of heat stored in the Earth's inner core. But before that, we need to understand the structure of the Earth. Okay. So the top layer is called the crust. Then we have the mantle. And we have the core. So core is the innermost part of the earth. So core is the innermost part. Now the crust and the upper mantle, okay, upper portion of the mantle plus the crust, it forms the lithosphere. Okay. Now core means the deepest part, or the innermost part of the earth is called the core. Now the reservoir of heat. Now the innermost part of the earth, which is the core, the temperature is very, very high, and core can even be divided into two. So this core portion can be divided into two, the outer core and the inner core. Now the inner core is liquid and the outer core is solid. That's not very important for you, but the thing is that the temperature in the core is very, very, very high. So geothermal energy means the vast reservoir of heat which is stored in the Earth's inner core. So this can be made use of, and this is made use of in order to produce the geothermal energy. The most common current way of capturing the energy from the geothermal sources is to tap into naturally occurring hydrothermal convection systems. So the heat which is trapped in the innermost core can be made use of to produce energy, and this is called geothermal energy. Hydrothermal convection systems, where cooler water seeps into the earth's crust, is heated up and then rises to the surface. So this is how the energy is produced. So this is the most common way of capturing the energy from geothermal source. Now what is this geothermal source? The geothermal source means the inner core which is of which the temperature is very high. So geothermal sources refers to the inner core where the temperature is very high. So the most common way of capturing the energy from this inner core is to tap into naturally occurring hydrothermal convection systems. Now we are going to discuss about the hydrothermal convection system. Now hydrothermal convection systems. Hydrothermal convection systems where the cooler water. So what happens in a hydrothermal convection system? The cooler water seeps into the earth's crust. Now we know what is the crust. As we discussed, crust is the uppermost portion. So crust, then we have the mantle, and then we have the core. Okay. So crust is the uppermost portion of the earth. Now hydrothermal convection systems in which the cooler water seeps into the crust of the earth and then it is heated up and rises to the surface. So the core is very hot, and from here there is a accumulation of temperature. So when this water is seeped into the crust, it is the cool water will gain the temperature or the heat from the core, and then it is risen back to the surface. Now when heated water is formed, or when it is forced to the surface, when it is brought back to the surface, it is relatively easy to capture that steam and use it to drive electric generators. So when in a hydrothermal convection system, when the cold water is put into the crust of the earth, it heats up and then the heated water is risen to the surface of the earth. So when this hot water is risen to the surface of the earth, it is easy to capture the steam from the hot water, and this can be used to drive the electric generators. Okay. Now geothermal energy has got its own challenges, and that is a reason why we are not able to utilize the potential of geothermal energy to a larger extent. So its high generation cost. We know that the earth's crust, mantle and core. So this requires a technology, or we can say an expensive technology, to make use of this energy reserves at the core of the earth. So again, the drilling cost is very high. Then there is a transmission barrier, accessibility, execution challenges. So reaching this inside the earth's surface and then taking the energy, converting it into electricity, all this requires high cost plus also good technical know-how. So these are some of the challenges in using the geothermal source as a potential source of generating electricity or energy. Next we will discuss about the fuel cells. Electrochemical devices that convert the chemical energy of a fuel directly and very efficiently into electricity and heat is called a fuel cell. So fuel cell is nothing but they are electrochemical devices, and the purpose of fuel cell is to convert the chemical energy of a fuel, the chemical energy directly and efficiently into DC, that is electricity and heat. So this is the purpose of a fuel cell. The most suitable fuel for such cells is hydrogen or a mixture of compounds containing hydrogen. So fuel cells are basically electrochemical devices which convert the chemical energy of a fuel directly and efficiently into the electricity. So hydrogen, this question can also be asked. The most suitable fuel for fuel cells, it is the hydrogen or those mixture of compounds containing hydrogen. Okay. Now oxygen passes over one electrode and hydrogen over the other, and they react electrochemically to generate electricity, water and heat. Now we will see that. So oxygen passes through one electrode and hydrogen over the other, and they react electrochemically in order to generate electricity, water and heat. You need not go into the technical aspects. Now we will see a practical use of it: mobile transportation, power generation, etc. So these are certain applications of the use of fuel cells. Okay. Next we will come to nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus or the core of an atom. So nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus. Nucleus means the center or the core. So the center nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus or the core of an atom or the center of an atom. Now Neetu has asked me, fuel cells used in electric vehicles. Yes, to convert it into electricity. Now a nuclear reactor is a power plant that can control nuclear fission to produce the electricity. So nuclear reactor, it's a power plant basically to control the nuclear fission in order to produce the electricity. So basically you need to know what is a nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus or the core of an atom. So nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus or the core, the central portion of the atom. Now we will see that in detail. The atom split, which creates fission products, thus creating a chain reaction. You need not know any technical aspects of it. For your understanding only I am giving this. You need not know all these things, but just to clarify. That's why you will not get questions in such detail. Only basic questions you will get. So atom split, which creates fission products, thus creating a chain reaction. The energy from this chain reaction is released in the form of heat. This heat is used to warm the nuclear reactor's cooling agent, which result in the formation of steam. The steam turns the turbines which drive the engines or generators to produce the electricity. So first one, the atom split, which creates fission products and it creates a chain reaction. So the energy from this chain reaction is released in the form of heat. Again, this heat is used to warm the nuclear reactors and thereby steam is produced. Now steam turns the turbines and this will help in the production of electricity. Now we will see the advantages of nuclear energy. This is important. The process is not very important. So advantages of using nuclear energy. It is a source of clean energy, which means that no pollutants. So it's a source of clean energy. It helps in the development of a country's economy without adversely contributing to climate change. Why? Because this is a clean energy. So it will not adversely contribute to climate change. Now, how does climate change happen? Climate change happens when the greenhouse gases are emitted in large quantity. So greenhouse gases, the purpose is to keep the surface of the earth warm. So when the amount or the quantity of greenhouse gases increases, then definitely this will lead to increase in the temperature. So temperature rise leading to global warming. Now global warming, and therefore global warming results into climate change over a period of time. So the nuclear energy will help in the development of a country's economy without adversely contributing to climate change. And it does not emit any greenhouse gases. So that is what we said. It's a clean energy, source of clean energy. It does not emit any greenhouse gas. Now what are the greenhouse gases? We have already discussed. Try to recollect that. Okay, revise that. And it can be built in urban or rural area. So the nuclear energy, it can be built in both urban area as well as in rural area. Now we will be discussing about different types of forest. So India has a diverse range of forests. I'll just give you an introduction before we move into the real content. Okay. See, in the Western Ghats, the rainfall received is very high. Then the soil is very favorable for the growth of plants. So what can be the type of forest? not deciduous. There are deciduous forest as well in Western Ghats, but mostly it is tropical rainforest. Yes, Lipica. So in the Western Ghats, we will see tropical rainforest. Okay. Now, coming to northeast. So this is the northeast of our country, northeastern India. So here also the rainfall is received is very high, and also there is soil or another conditions favorable for the growth of plants. So these are two areas in India. The Western Ghats and the Northeast are two areas where we receive the maximum of monsoon rainfall. So the monsoon rainfall after reaching the Bay of Bengal, the Indian coast, it diverts into two. One is the Northeast wing and the other one is the Arabian Sea wing and the other one is the Bay of Bengal wing. So these are the two areas where we get the maximum rainfall. So in these two places you will see tropical rainforest. Yes. So in Northeast and in the Western Ghats we will see rainforest or evergreen forest, etc. Especially in the Northeast we will see evergreen forest, and here also we can say it's either evergreen or like a tropical rainforest. So you can remember it this way so that you will never forget. That's why I am explaining it this way. Okay. Now, these are two places. Now, from our south moving upwards, here in the Gujarat, Rajasthan area, it is desert. So, what kind of forest we will see here? It is basically what type of forest in deserts? No, not deciduous. In the desert there is very less water, the soil, the climatic conditions is not favorable for the growth of forest. So here what we will see is the grasslands, and that also small shrubs, bushes, etc. And also we will see some plants which grow in the deserts like the cactus, etc. So here we will see that the vegetation is basically shrubs or small thorny bushes, etc. Okay. Now, when we move upwards to the Himalayas, the Kashmir Himalayas, then the Himachal Himalayas till the Northeast. So till Northeast, why? Because Northeast, even though we have the Northeast Himalayas, there is an exception that in the Northeast adequate rainfall is received. So from the Himalayas, that is from Jammu and Kashmir to Himachal, this Himalayan region we will see what type of forest? Himachal region. Here we will see alpine forest or alpine pastures. That is, we will see trees in the shape of cones, conical trees. Examples are like, what can I give you examples? Rhododendron or alpine tree, Alps, or the conical kind. Have you seen the Christmas tree? It's like a conical shape, no? Why? Because it shows that Christmas is in the winter, in at least in the northern hemisphere. The Christmas is in the winter time, but in Australia they celebrate the Christmas during the summer time. So basically in the northern hemisphere, where we have the North America and the Europe and all, so Christmas is celebrated during the winters. So the Christmas tree is in the shape of a cone, which shows that the tree which grows in cold climate. So here we will see such type of trees in Kashmir, in Himalayas till the Northeast. We call it as, in general, we call it as alpine forest. Okay. So pine is a very good example. Pine, rhododendron. So all these are the examples. Now, then we have the interiors. So the other parts, the interiors, then the eastern Ghats and everywhere. So the commonly seen forest is deciduous forest. So in India, deciduous forest is one type of forest which is seen maximum. So in India, we will see that deciduous forest, the coverage, the area-wise coverage of deciduous forest is the highest in India. So this is one important fact. So deciduous forest area-wise, it has the highest coverage. Okay. And in deciduous forest, the common trees that are seen are teak is there, mahogany, then rosewood, sandal. So all these trees are seen in the deciduous forest. So you can remember it this way. Now why in different parts of our country we have different types of forest? This is because the type of forest or the type of vegetation will highly depend upon factors like precipitation, that is the rainfall, the soil type, then the climate and the topography. So these are certain factors which determines the vegetation in a particular area, and that is why in India we have different types of forest. Now if we take rainfall, the rainfall received in the Western Ghats and the Northeast is the highest. Therefore in these two areas we have the evergreen forest or the tropical rainforest. Then the soil type, we discussed about different types of soil in a previous lecture. Alluvial soil, red soil, yellow soil, then we have the black soil. So different types of soil are there. So depending on the type of soil also the vegetation will differ. Then climate, so climatic conditions, and then the topography. So these are the factors on which it is dependent upon. Now India has a diverse range of forest. We have the rainforest of Kerala in the south to the alpine pastures of Ladakh in the north, from the deserts of Rajasthan in the west to evergreen forest in the northeast. So here we were just looking at the different borders, like the southernmost border to the northernmost border, westernmost and the easternmost. Okay. So we will see that different types of forest are there. Now let's see how rainfall affects the vegetation. So depending on the rainfall, how the vegetation changes. So annual rainfall, if it is more than 200 centimeter or more, we have the evergreen rainforest, which we will see in the entire northeast and also in some parts of Western Ghats. So here we will see the evergreen rainforest because the rainfall received is the highest, more than 200 centimeters. Then 100 to 200 centimeter we have the monsoon deciduous forest. Then 50 to 100 centimeter we have the drier deciduous or the tropical savanna. Then from 25 to 50 centimeter we have the dry thorny shrubs. Then below 25 we have deserts. So depending on the rainfall also the vegetation, the pattern of vegetation will change. So if there is more rainfall, what does it indicate? With more rainfall or with more precipitation, there is more vegetation. So if the rainfall is high, then this means that there is higher vegetation growth also. So higher rainfall means higher vegetation growth. So that is how rainfall affects the vegetation of an area. Tikesh is asking me, can I teach computer science? I have no clue about computer science, believe me. I do not know anything related to the computers except taking classes and checking the emails and the basic things. I don't have any know-how in computers, and Himanshu sir is the person whom I always go to if I have any doubts related to computers. And also, to be very honest, computer was one subject in my 12th standard. I got very low grades. Okay. So, yeah. Now we will see each type, forest type in detail. First, we will come to the tropical evergreen rainforest. Okay. So, the tropical evergreen rainforest, it is seen in areas where precipitation is more than 200 centimeter. Neetu is asking me evergreen forest and tropical rainforest. You mean the difference? Okay, I'll tell you the difference. Evergreen forest means it is always green in color. It means that even when some trees are shedding the leaves, there will be some other trees which will be having new leaves. So always, if you look at the evergreen forest, every time the it is green in color, like the forest will be appearing green in color. Now tropical rainforest means that those forests or those vegetation which is dependent upon the rainfall. So as the rainfall is very high in this areas, again it will look green. So there is no much difference, actually this is the same only. Okay. Vikrant is asking me tomorrow whether there is class. Yes, tomorrow there will be class. The same time 7. Okay, but before that, from Monday onwards, there is a small change in the time because a new ma'am has joined, Kajal ma'am. So Kajol ma'am has joined, and from Monday onwards, she is taking classes from 6 to 7. So from 6 to 7, she will be taking the classes on YouTube every day. So since she is taking from 6 to 7, I cannot start immediately at 7. The team has told me that you need a break after this class. So we will have classes from 7:30 onwards. Monday onwards, we will have classes from 7:30 to 8:15 or maximum 8:30. Okay, so 7:30 because I will try to finish at 8:15 itself because you have the next class at 8:30. I think 8:30 or 9 you have the next class, so you need a break in between. So I will finish it off maximum by 8:30. So yeah, from Monday onwards the classes will be at 7:30 p.m. Okay, so tomorrow there will be class and it will be from 7, and from Monday onwards I will try to take the previous year papers also simultaneously. We will see. And okay, Vikrant is asking me when will we finish this environment. I am trying to finish environment by Monday or Tuesday maximum. Okay, and yeah, new subject. Yeah, that's what. I am little confused whether to start the next unit or discuss the previous year papers because you have the exams next month. Sir was suggesting me to discuss the previous year papers. I will have to discuss it with the team and then I will finalize it. By Monday or Tuesday, we will finish the environment for sure. And 8:30, which class? I think Sachin sir is taking classes from 8:30 or 9. I'm not sure about the timings. I think it's at 9 o'clock, 8:30 or 9. So Sachin sir is taking the classes. And Atira is asking me, is that paper 1 subject at 6 p.m.? No, I think it's paper 2 computer science because Kajol ma'am, I think she's taking computer science. So from 6 to 7, I think you will have computer science classes. Yeah, yes, Neetu. Kajol ma'am is teaching computer science, yes. So ma'am will be taking classes from 6 to 7. So you will have a break of like 30 minutes. From 7:30 to 8:30, you will have my classes. Then I think from 9 o'clock, you will have Sachin sir's class also. So we will try to finish it as early as possible. And by the way, how many of you are giving the examination this time, or are you preparing for the next December batch? Is there anyone giving the exams this time? Nobody is giving this time. Okay, Neetu is giving. Atra, Balaji, PDF I have sent to the team. They told me they will upload it in the channels. Lipika is preparing for December. So I just have a query. I'm just asking you. Okay, I'm not sure whether you also know about it. Because now in September it will be held. So December, the next time will be in December, or again it will get postponed. So I don't have clue. That's why I'm asking. Okay, Lipika is December batch. Okay, Rani is giving this time. Vikrant is giving this time. Balaji is giving. Sumati is giving. Okay. Puviri is giving. So we will try to finish. Okay, at least we will try to finish the previous year papers so that at least you will, with the previous year papers, we will discuss the topics also. So you will have some edge. Okay, we will try to do that. Okay, so let's come back. Okay, tropical evergreen rainforest. It is found in areas where the precipitation is more than 200 centimeters. So precipitation means the rainfall. So tropical evergreen forest, it's found in those areas where the rainfall is heavy or high, more than 200 centimeters. So in India, we will see that in Western Ghats and also in the Northeast. And it has almost all kinds of vegetations like the trees, shrubs, creepers, etc. and giving it a multi-layered structure. So tall trees, then small trees, shrubs, then grasses, everything is there. And these are the states, okay? Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Assam, Nagaland, then the Western Ghats, the areas of the Himalayas and the Andaman group of islands. So this is where we will find the tropical evergreen rainforest. Okay. Then the major trees found in this area are sandalwood, rosewood, mahogany and bamboo. Again you will see that this rosewood, mahogany, sandalwood etc. they are found even in the deciduous forest. So we cannot clearly discriminate between the vegetation found in evergreen forest and deciduous. The difference is that in the evergreen forest there will be a thick canopy, which means there will be an abundance of trees. Okay. So sandalwood, rosewood, mahogany and bamboo. Next we have the deciduous or monsoon type of forest. So this kind of forest is seen in those areas where the precipitation or the rainfall is between 100 centimeter and 200 centimeter. And the trees in this forest shed their leaves during dry summer and dry winter. So the trees in this deciduous forest, they shed their leaves, and that is why they are not evergreen. Evergreen means throughout all the seasons it looks like very greenish in color. So here in case of the deciduous forest or monsoon type of forest, they shed the leaves during dry winter and dry summer. And on the basis of availability of water, these forests can be divided into moist deciduous and dry deciduous. Okay, depending on the precipitation or the water availability. Now, these kind of forests are found on lower slope of the Himalayas, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra. So, these are the places where it is found. Then, teak, deodar, blue gum, pal ash, sal, sandalwood, ebony, arjun, khair, bamboo. That's why I said most of the trees, they are common. But again, see here, teak. Teak is found in the deciduous forest, and teak is one of the most prominent vegetation or the tree found in the deciduous forest. Okay, these are the trees or the vegetation which you will find in the deciduous forest or the monsoon type of forest. So yeah, and we will also discuss about the dry deciduous forest. So dry deciduous forest is where the precipitation is between 50 centimeter and 100 centimeter, and these are mainly seen in the areas of central Deccan Plateau, Punjab, Haryana, parts of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, southeast of Rajasthan. So that's why we said interior of the country. So when we discussed in this diagram map, we said that in the interiors of the country, the deciduous forest is mostly found. Okay, these are seen in areas of central Deccan Plateau near to Maharashtra, then Punjab, Haryana belt, parts of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, southeast of Rajasthan. Teak, deodar, sal, sandalwood and ebony are the trees that are abundantly found in this kind of vegetation. So teak is very important. Teak is the prominent vegetation found in the deciduous forest. So teak, deodar, sal, sandalwood, ebony. So these are the vegetation found in the dry deciduous forest. Now we will wind up here for today. Tomorrow we will take up montane forest or mountain forest, mangrove forest. Then we will discuss about desert vegetation and semi-desert vegetation. Then we will discuss about the major environmental movements in India. Then we will wind up. Okay, by tomorrow we will finish this chapter, and day after tomorrow onwards we will take up the next chapter, the last chapter in this unit. Then we will finish it off. Okay, so yeah, Senthil is giving in December. Vikrant, okay, December. Okay, Vikrant is giving this time without much preparation, but December you will give it after preparation. Okay. Lipika, start unit 10 or research. Yeah, we will try to do that, but question papers also we will take up simultaneously for those who are attending the exams this year. We will try to manage both. Okay, so I think we will wind up for today. Okay, I'll see you again tomorrow. So study really well, because the exams are very close. So study well and give your best. So take care, stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Good night.